All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is special angle pairs. So starting with our first one, corresponding angles. They are in the same position on parallel lines in relation to the transversal. These angles are always congruent. So if we recall, the word congruent means that they are the same. So they're going to have the same angle measurement. Let's talk about what this looks like. So corresponding angles are in the same position on parallel lines in relation to the transversal. So if I take my first parallel line here, L, with my transversal T here, and I look at the top left. So top left would be here, angle 1. I'm going to do the same thing on the other parallel lines. We looked at parallel line L, and we're going to look at the parallel line M. And it says that they are in the same position. So here's my transversal with my parallel line, and we're going to go top left again. So top left. So these are in the same position, making them corresponding angles. Angle 1, and remember when we write this, we're going to write it with congruency. Angle 1 is congruent, that's our congruent symbol, to angle 5. Another example, so I don't have to use top left. I could have said top right, bottom left, bottom right. But for this one, I'm going to use the bottom right. So bottom right for this first parallel line is angle 3. And it is bottom right. So looking at my next parallel line, bottom right would be 7. So this one would be congruent to angle 7. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. Okay. All right. Our next angle relationship with parallel lines and transversals is alternate interior angles. These are inside parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. These angles are always congruent as well. Okay, so alternate interior angles are inside the parallel lines and on opposite sides. So when we're talking inside parallel lines, I'll highlight it in purple, but this would be inside the parallel line. So it's right in between those parallel lines. So our inside parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. So here's our transversal, so they have to be on opposite sides. So inside and opposite is 4 and 6. So angle 4 and angle 6. So because they are congruent, we'll say angle 4 is congruent to angle 6. Those are an example of alternate interior angles. The other example here, so here it has to be opposite side of the transversal. This is my transversal line inside the parallel line, so we're inside the purple right now. So that would be angle 5 and angle 3. So angle 5 and 3, opposite sides of the transversal. Angle 5 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, so then the next angle relationship is alternate exterior angles. These are outside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. So outside the parallel lines, highlighting it in purple, would be this top part and this bottom part. Okay, so they're outside of those parallel lines. These angles are also always congruent. So outside we have it in purple. Remember our transversal is this line T here. It says it has to be on opposite sides of that transversal. So 1 is on the opposite side of 7. So we would say angle 1. Because they're congruent, we're going to use the congruent symbol. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. The other example here, so here's my transversal looking in the purple sections. Opposite side of angle 2 would be angle 8. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 8, and they are also alternate exterior angles. The last relationship we have here is the consecutive interior angles. They are on the same side of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. These angles are always supplementary. So remember, supplementary are angles, two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So two angles that add up to 180 degrees. That is what supplementary means. All right, so it says same side of the transversal and inside the parallel line. So I'm going to highlight the inside of the parallel lines. And again, it says that they are on the same side of the transversal. So here's my transversal. We're talking same side of the transversal. That's going to be angle 4 and angle 5. They're on the same side. So because they're supplementary, we can't just use the congruency symbol here. We have to make sure we write the equation. So if I took the measure of angle 4 and I add it to the measure of angle 5, it's going to equal 180 degrees. Remember, that's what supplementary angles mean. On the other side of this transversal, so that was on the left side of that transversal. On the other side, the right side, we have angle 3 and angle 6. So again, if we take the measure of angle 3 and we add it to the measure of angle 6, it will equal 180 degrees because consecutive interior angles are supplementary.